Christine, so what the public will see here is that a 2-year-old boy has died, and every time a child dies, you know, a serious case review comes out, and very often in these reports, one thing that's highlighted is the lack of communication, that people aren't talking to each other, individuals within agencies and also agencies with other agencies. How can you give the public your assurance that in Derbyshire this is actually going to change, this communication problem?
Perhaps it would be helpful if I started by explaining the role of the Safeguarding Children Board in serious case reviews of this nature. Of course, the death of any child is a dreadful tragedy. When a death occurs and we think that there may be abuse or neglect, then it's the responsibility of the Safeguarding Children Board to undertake a serious case review. And that means taking an independent look at the circumstances around that death. So I, as the chair of the board, am independent of all the organisations represented. We also engage an independent author for such a review to take a look at what happened, why those things happened, and if there were any failings, why those occurred, really to get at the lessons and, as you identify, what we need to do in order to change practice to prevent these things happening again. And in this particular case, there were some significant failings that were identified. Whilst there was some very good practice around the work supporting the mother, who was a drug user, sadly there was insufficient focus on the needs of this little boy. And as a result of that, there were some missed opportunities to engage children's social care and to better protect him. Some of the things that should have happened are indeed about the sharing of information, particularly across health professionals, and it is that focus on the needs of the wider family and particularly a young child that this report addresses. So what have we done as a board to respond to this report? We have ensured that the agencies involved have better communication systems in place, better sharing of information, that they have improved the way in which they assess families where there is a drug-using parent, that they do focus much more on the entire family and the needs of any vulnerable children, that they improve the risk assessments that are undertaken, and that generally they have much better processes for making sure that the entire family is protected, and particularly young children are protected. As a board, we've sought those assurances already. We've made sure that we didn't wait for this report to be published. We've made sure that agencies took action as soon as those issues were identified. But we will continue to monitor to make sure that they are truly embedded in the practices of all the agencies concerned.
Were you at all worried that it's a culture in with health professionals of maybe not talking to children's social care?
That was one of the questions that the report raised, and we will continue to monitor the referrals from different agencies to make sure that they do understand the need, firstly to talk to one another and to engage wider agencies, including children's social care, when risks are identified and where that's the proper procedure to follow.
Thank you.